Hello, curious minds. Welcome back to ProjexCellence ProDigy, your go-to place for everything project management. I'm Govind, a certified PMP. And today, we are kicking off an exciting new series all about Agile projects. You have probably heard the word Agile a lot, but what does it really mean? Where did it come from? And why is it such a big deal in modern project management? In this series, we are going to break it down from the basics to the real world stuff. Whether you are building software like a CRM system, working on a product, or just want to manage projects better and faster, Agile can truly change the game. And to get started, today's lesson is all about the foundation of Agile, the Agile Manifesto and its 12 principles. We will explore where it came from, what it says, and how each principle helps teams deliver better results with more flexibility. So, if you are ready to learn Agile in the simplest way with practical examples and zero jargon, let's dive in. What is Agile? The word Agile simply means able to move quickly and easily. When applied to project management, it means the ability to adapt quickly to change, deliver value in short cycles, and adjust based on user feedback. Agile is a mindset, a way of thinking about how to manage work efficiently and respond quickly to change. It emphasizes individuals and collaboration, early delivery of working solutions, continuous feedback, and flexibility over rigid planning. It is not a single methodology, but a broad approach or philosophy that guides how teams work together, especially in complex and uncertain projects like software development, product design, or even marketing campaigns. Imagine you are developing a CRM software for your sales team. In traditional waterfall method, you would spend months gathering all requirements, designing, coding, testing, and only at the end you will come with the final product to the user. But what if they say it doesn't meet their needs anymore? In Agile, instead of waiting for the full product, you deliver a working version in every 2 to 4 weeks. Maybe the first version just lets users store contacts. They use it, give feedback, and you improve it in the next cycle. This way, the product evolves with user input, ensuring it stays relevant. Agile in project management. In 1980s and 1990s, before Agile was born, the software development project followed the rigid plan-driven approaches like waterfall method. These methods treated projects like factory lines. First gather all requirements, then design, develop, test, and finally deploy. But this linear approach caused serious issues. Projects often took months or even years to deliver, and by the time the software reached the users, their needs had already changed. And developers had little room to adapt any change mid project and user feedback. In late 1990s, developers and thought leaders began experimenting with iterative and incremental approaches like rapid application development (RAD), extreme programming (XP), Scrum, Crystal, feature driven development (FDD). These methods emphasized flexibility, collaboration, and fast feedback. In February 2001, 17 leading software developers gathered at ski resort in Snowbird, USA. They came from different backgrounds: Scrum, extreme programming, Crystal, FDD, but all agreed that traditional software development was too rigid, too slow, and too disconnected from the needs of real users. Instead of proposing a single new method, they created a set of guiding values and principles that could be applied across different contexts. These ideas became the Agile Manifesto and they fundamentally reshaped how teams manage projects, not just in software but across industries. Agile Manifesto. Agile Manifesto outlines four simple but powerful values. It says we are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we have come to value individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Means people matter more than rigid rules. Teams should collaborate, communicate, and solve problems together more than just blindly following tools or workflows. For example, a CRM tool might help manage tasks, but it is your team's daily stand up discussions that solves real blockers quickly. Working software over comprehensive documentation means deliver something that works, not just pages of reports. Documentation is helpful, but actual usable results are more important. For example, instead of spending weeks writing technical specs for a CRM software, agile teams focus on delivering a working contact module in the first sprint. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation means build with the customer, not just for them. Agile encourages continuous feedback and a shared sense of ownership. For example, in CRM software development, instead of locking down all features upfront in a contract, agile teams involve the client in every sprint review, responding to changeover following a plan. No doubt, plans are important, but being flexible is more important. Agile teams expect and embrace changes as a natural part of any project. For example, if your CRM user suddenly needs WhatsApp integration, so in this case, the agile team would reprioritize the backlog and get working on it instead of saying, sorry, it was not in the plan. 12 Agile Principles. The 12 Agile Principles are a set of guiding ideas that support the core values of the Agile Manifesto. They describe how Agile teams should work, make decisions, collaborate, and deliver the value to the customer. These principles help teams stay flexible, focus on the customer, deliver working solutions often, and continuously improve through teamwork and feedback. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. In Agile, customer satisfaction isn't just a goal, it's a top priority. Instead of waiting for the entire product to be built and then launched months later, Agile delivers small usable parts early and often. This gives the customer something to use, test, and provide the feedback. For example, let's say your client wants a CRM system. So rather than waiting for 6 months, you deliver a basic version in just 2 weeks. That will allow customer to save the contact information. So in the next sprint, you can add the lead tracking. So by continuously giving them value, the client stays engaged and confident that the project is heading in the right direction. Welcome changing requirements even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. In traditional projects, changes are often seen as delays or threats. Agile turns this idea upside down. Changes are expected and even encouraged if they help the customer succeed. Agile teams have the flexibility to adapt without losing momentum. For example, during the CRM project, the client initially wanted just email integration. Midway, They realize WhatsApp is more popular among the customers. So instead of rejecting this change, the agile team adjusts the priorities and includes WhatsApp integration in an upcoming sprint, which will keep the product relevant and competitive. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a performance to the shorter time scale. Agile doesn't wait for perfection. Instead, it encourages regular delivery of working features in short cycles called sprints. This lets the team gather feedback and reduce the risk of building the wrong thing. For example, every 2 weeks, your CRM team releases updates like Sprint 1 delivers a contact module, Sprint 2 add a dashboard, and Sprint 3 enables task tracking. This rhythm ensures continuous progress and keeps the client engaged. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Agile removes the barrier between developer and business stakeholders. When they collaborate daily, there is a less confusion, fewer misinterpretations, and quicker decisions. For example, in the CRM project, the product owner, normally a business side representative, he attends daily stand up meetings with the development team. So, if there is a question about how lead scoring should work, so the team gets instant clarification, which will save hours or even days of back and forth. Build projects around motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. Agile thrives when team members are trusted and empowered. Micromanagement kills the creativity. Instead, in Agile, leaders provide clear goals and the right tools and then let the team take ownership. For example, your Scrum team is assigned to create a reporting feature in the CRM. So instead of the manager dictating how it should be built, the team discusses options, agrees on a solution, and delivers it. Meanwhile, leadership supports them with access to necessary data and tools. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face to face conversation. Real time communication prevents misunderstandings that often happen in long documents or emails. Agile promotes quick, direct conversation to speed up decisions and avoid any kind of delays. For example, instead of sending a 10 paragraph email about how to handle duplicate customer entries, the QA tester walks over to the developer or sets up a quick video call and discusses it in 5 minutes. The result is faster and clearer. Working software in the primary measure of progress. Rather than measuring progress by task completion, documentation, or hours spent, Agile measures it by what actually works. A team that shows working features is making real progress. For example, after 4 sprints, your team has delivered a working contact module, task tracking, and lead dashboard, all testable and usable. Even if backend coding or documentation isn't finished yet, this visible functioning software shows the real progress. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Agile avoids the burnout which is often seen in traditional projects. It promotes consistent, balanced work schedules that maintain productivity over the long term. For example, your team commits to a steady pace of 20 story points per sprint. They don't rush to cram 50 points just to impress the stakeholders, which will ensure quality work, less stress, and better long term delivery. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Agile doesn't mean quick and dirty. It encourages good design, clean code, and best practices so that the product remains adaptable, scalable, and maintainable. For example, while building the CRM, your team avoids hard coding values and instead uses a well structured database and modular code. This makes it easier to add new features later, like custom fields or chat integrations. Simplicity. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. Agile focuses on delivering only what is truly needed. It avoids unnecessary features that don't add value. For example, in CRM, instead of creating a complex multi-level user permission system, the team delivers just three roles: admin, sales, and manager. Because that is all the client really needs. The best architectures, requirements, and design emerge from self-organizing teams. Agile teams are cross-functional and self-organized. They collaborate, experiment, and solve problems better than when instructions come from top down. For example, the team working on CRM analytics includes a developer, a tester, and a UX designer. They decide together how the dashboard will look like, what data to show, and how to test it without needing constant instructions from a manager. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. Agile includes a built in system for improvement, the retrospective. After every sprint, the team discusses what went well, what didn't, and how they can do better next time. For example, in the retrospective after sprint 3, the team realizes task tracking is being delayed due to unclear user stories. They agree to write clearer acceptance criteria in future sprints. So, because of this decision, the productivity gets improved in sprint 4. That's it for today's lesson. We talked about the Agile Manifesto, the 4 key values that changed how projects are handled, and the 12 principles that show how Agile really works in real project teams. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ProjexCellence ProDigy. Until next time, Namaste, goodbye, Sampai Jumpa.